Hello and welcome to this first performance of an everyday family practice. This is an original new drama that's been created through a collaboration between me, Dr. Laura Davies, and Patrick Morris, the co-artistic director of Menagerie Theatre. Before the play begins, we thought it would be useful for you to know a little bit about who we are and this collaboration. So I'm an academic based at King's College, and my research currently focuses on changing ideas of and attitudes towards death in 18th century England. I also co-founded the A Good Death project, which is based at the Faculty of English. The project seeks to reinvigorate public debate and improve individual experiences around death and dying. We run workshops for bereavement counsellors and hospice workers, and we organise public events and collaborate, bringing together academic research with creative practice. The aim is to open up new conversations and help people to face fears around thinking and talking about death and dying. This is our second collaboration with Menagerie, and you can watch and hear the results of our first joint creation on our website. We'll give you those details in a moment. Patrick, can I hand over to you to introduce and give some context for today's performance?
Yeah, thanks, Laura. So I am Patrick Morris, and I am co-artistic director of Menagerie Theatre Company. We're a new writing company based at Cambridge Junction. And this is part of a program of work we do called the Ideas Stage, which really wants to create new theatre out of collaborations with contemporary research. So this play, An Everyday Family Practice, it's a new play, and this reading you're about to see is its first ever public performance. And my aim with it, or our aim with it, is to stimulate conversation and questions and responses around the subject of death, particularly how death is talked about or not within families. So it's a work in progress, filmed via Zoom. The three actors you're about to see are performing from their own homes. So you are going to have to make that leap of faith to join the family, who are Emil, Marcus, and Miriam, around their kitchen table. The play lasts about 27 minutes, and we'll be back afterwards. Most importantly, and this is where I hand back to you, Laura, we're after your responses to the play. And Laura, how can people respond to the play?
We would love to hear your thoughts and feedback. If you want to get in touch with us during the watching of the play, you can do so on Twitter. We're at what_death and use the hashtag everydaydeath. That might get some conversation going. If you want to reflect on the performance and get in touch with us afterwards, you can contact us via our website, which is gooddeath@english.cam.ac.uk. Details will be shown again at the end. Enjoy.
Oh, well, here I am at home. Not my home. Well, it was my home. No. Hi, it's Emil here with my first memorial recording. Oh, shit. Okay, listeners, listen up. Emil arises to bring you the premiere. Bollocks. Emil here. Memorial recording 1. March 27th, 2021, parents and me. Yeah. Please. Please, a reminder of the rules. 1, I ask the questions, only me. 2,
I just want to know how
2,
long.
answer individually as I rather than we.
Oh, for God's sake.
3,
We're not children.
3, your answers can be as long or as short as you like, but you must answer each question truthfully. 4, there's to be no crying, none at all. 5, I have the right to ask supplementary questions. Are we good to start?
Roger that.
Don't.
What?
Take it seriously, or don't do it at all.
I'm doing this for you. I'm only doing this for you.
So, we good to go?
Yes. Well,
Okay, rolling. Testing, 2, ba 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 ba. Sweet. Okay, let's go. Ready? Phones off?
Roger.
Question number 1. What's your name and what is your relationship to me?
I am Marcus Schwartz, and I am your father.
and I'm Miriam Carvalho. And, oh, your mum.
Question number 2. Where do you live and who, if anyone, do you live with?
I live here with him and you. At the moment, you've just moved back in 3 weeks ago.
They don't need to know that.
Dad, please name him and me.
Oh, well, he's Marcus.
Marcus Schwartz.
Marcus Schwartz, yes, and you're Emil Carvalho. You're my, do I say I or my or our?
Either for now.
Oh, okay. Our son.
Carvalho Schwartz.
What?
Carvalho Schwartz is your name?
This is Mum's answer.
I'm simply saying that your name, since we're recording, is Carvalho Schwartz.
But we've used Carvalho for years. That's what I call him. You, Emil. And that's what he calls himself. That's what you call yourself.
Your turn.
Well, she said it all, didn't she?
What are your words?
Oh, well. Hello, everyone. I also live here, being a 1934 semi-detached 2-bedroom residence. No extension or doffel on the windows, on a normal, quiet road. Although we've had half the bloody pavements up in the last 4 weeks, and it's driving me up the wall and over the bloody rainbow with these new gas pipes, drainage systems, cabling, spaghetti zoo. But you don't need to know that either. Enough?
And you live here with?
Miriam. And now you. Until you are Emil. Full name, Emil Carvalho Schwartz. You are 24 and you are my son, as previously stated. I'm sorry, can we stop, please?
Next question. For Miriam, what is your first memory of me?
You mean as a baby?
I ask the questions. What's your first memory of me?
I said, can we stop?
This is Miriam's question to answer.
But I have a question.
I'm asking the questions. I told you.
Which is why I'm asking you to stop recording.
Oh, Jesus H, Dad, what?
I'm clearly not answering the questions right.
No one said that.
Then why are you not correcting your mum about Carvalho Schwartz?
He told us 1,000 times.
I'm asking him.
Some sort of testimonial thing.
An accurate and comprehensive collection of my relationships.
It's there.
On record for you, both. For when I'm gone.
Please. Marcus.
Roger.
To repeat the question.
No, I know. My first memory of you is actually before you were conceived. I knew you. I pictured you. I dreamt of you.
When exactly was that? I need to record a distinct moment.
I suppose, actually, on the bus, back from school, last day of the summer term, in my NQT, end of my NQT year, with the sun right in my eyes. It was full, no room downstairs, so I was upstairs at the front. It's like it was blinking, the sun. The branches kept hitting the front windows, bang, thwap, thwap, bang. And then we were full face into the sun. I looked into it all the way, and I saw you. Saw your face as clear as I do now. You were conceived that evening. That do?
Dad, same question.
Well, can't really beat that, can I?
It's not a competition, Marcus.
Well, he's setting it up like it is.
I'm still recording, Dad, so say something about your first memory of me.
Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, I got one. Your first birthday.
What?
His first birthday.
He asked for your first memory of him.
I've got a memory of a meal on his first birthday. What?
Mum, Miriam, please let him answer.
What about his first year?
You'd made a cake, one candle, one of our dinner candles. It was dark. It must have been around 7 because I still remember being on my work clothes. But I was holding him and we sang to him, you, together, very quietly.
Sang what?
Happy bloody birthday, what else?
Just for the record.
You missed your calling, you did.
Marcus!
Thanks.
I didn't.
Don't! Why did you have to say that?
I'm supposed to be painting. This is studio time.
And I have 60 assessments to write up before tomorrow. This is his time.
If we're lucky, remember the doctor said 12 months.
With your luck, 12 months is not lucky. None of this is lucky.
Miri.
Continue. My first birthday.
Well, that's it. You and your mum's faces in the candlelight. A close-up. 2 beaming faces, a big thick candle. Like Caravaggio's Holy Night.
What work were you doing?
Just temp work, office, somewhere.
Where?
Can't recall.
Try.
A law firm. Not even a name, just letters, CJG or something.
What were you doing for them?
Just accounts. Tedious, but money and people were okay. Straight, but okay.
Straight.
Office bound, office types. It was their life.
Why can't you remember anything of my first year?
It's just a blur.
A blur?
A blur, yes, a blur. Not clear, nothing to pin down, just a rage.
A rage.
Would you stop bloody repeating?
I'm reflecting back words which I think had meaning.
Meaning, huh?
Do you remember me being born?
A rage. Let's leave it there, shall we? A rage.
Very well. Next question. What do you wish for me?
Not to follow in my footsteps.
That's a wish not to do something.
Yes.
Fulfilled?
So far.
Mum,
A long life, happy life, good job. I don't know what any mother wants.
but you, what did you want?
To be close to you, always. To never see you in pain. To protect you, obviously. To be loved unconditionally.
And how would you rate your success?
I've remained close to you, even if I've seen you in more pain than I wish. I've not been able to protect you. And last one, a pipe dream. So ask me another question, please. Emil? Another question?
Okay.
I need to pause.
Mum.
You insisted on no crying. Don't push it, please.
Okay, next question. What was the...
I'm making lunch.
I'm still recording.
Not anymore.
Oh, we were just getting going.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be a slight delay while we check for a bomb in the undercarriage.
These are your rules, Em.
We advise anyone to remain calm. There is no need to panic.
I'm continuing recording.
Please, now watch this short video while we...
Shut up, Marcus!
You're not supposed to see them before I ask them.
How many questions have you got? What do you remember of my moment of conception?
Ah,
Oh, there's your answer.
I'll finish the sandwiches.
Why am I an only child? What promise did I show as a teenager? Where did you, Miriam, go between my 15th and 16th birthdays? What was your first inkling of my illness? How long after I die will it be before you divorce? What is this?
I've told you.
What is this?
I'm trying to leave you with something.
Oh, this leaves me with something. And who else are you doing it to?
I'm not doing it to anyone.
Really? What you're doing to me, to him, to Nana.
It's called trying to live.
No, to me, to us, to all of us.
Miri.
He needs to know.
Look, lunch is up.
No what?
Cheese or cheese?
You are making a hole.
What?
You're falling into it. And we're all watching you, and you're not letting us in. It's like it's your hole. It's now your life. It's your republic, your fiefdom. Just because you're dying...
I'll find another word.
That is the word for what he is doing. And we are dying with him. This family is dying with him. So if you're going to become this dictator, this brat, this new baby...
Are you still bloody recording?
Let him.
He's still bloody recording all this?
Every single day, hundreds of times a day, I have to instruct myself not to howl this place down. Is that what you want to hear for your record?
I want to capture us as we are.
I can't stand to be around you. You still have to do family. We have to. And we will do that together, or you can do it alone.
You'll forget. You'll make me out to be the perfect son who's greatly missed, adored and loved, forever in our hearts. I'm saying to you, don't fix me. Don't carve me in stone. I can't stand that. I want a proper memorial.
Then think about us. Now, today. Think about the living.
I'm the living too.
I know, but...
No, I am part of the living with a twist. Because, of course, I'm officially end of life. The last 12 months. That's what they call it. End of life. What a label, eh? Yeah, I know, I might get lucky, Dad, and get more, but that's where we are. But now I'm living. I'm living until I'm dead.
He's living. He's living.
So these questions, what I'm doing to you, is me trying to understand us, who we are, together. I'm doing family, Mum.
And our answers? Fixed in time, like everything else. You get us today, not tomorrow.
We can do this every day if you like. You can do what you want with the recordings. They're for you, both. For now, let's skip to the final question. What role will you play in my deathbed scene?
Okay, that's it for me. Roger and out.
Oh,
Yeah, go back to your studio, Marcus.
you have to look at him.
I do not. I don't. You're wrong. You are wrong, both. You are wrong.
I will be holding your hand, Emil.
Stop, Miri.
I will be holding your hand.
Carry on, Mum.
Miri, no.
I will be holding your hand.
Please.
Dad. Miriam.
I will be holding your hand.
And me. What will I be doing?
Well, you'll be being our son.
But what will I be doing?
You'll be still,
Yes.
very still,
And
breathing.
breathing.
I'm singing
What?
softly.
Singing what?
Them their eyes.
Do I know it?
Was your favourite when you were little.
Am I singing along?
I think I see your lips move.
What's my breathing like?
No. Mm-mm. Better. Not quite right. Yeah.
Do it.
What?
Do it. Do the scene. I'm lying here. Where are you? Come on, where are you? Left or right?
Left.
So come here. Take my left hand. Okay. Now sing. Come on. Sing.
I fell in love with you the first time I looked into.
It's just practice, Mum. Miriam, it's okay. I'll sing as well. I fell in love the first
No, you're not
time.
able to.
You said I'm mouthing the words.
Yeah, I think I see you mouthing. That's all, no sound.
So carry on then.
And you have a certain little cute way of flirting with them their eyes. They make me feel so happy. They make me feel so blue. I'm falling, no stalling in a great big wave.
Finish it, Mum.
I can't.
You're almost there.
Because you've gone.
Where?
Gone. Yes.
Do my eyes close?
Open, they're open. And I try to close them, but can't.
So do it. I'm lying here. Where are you going?
To fetch a nurse.
But one's already here.
I'm not playing along with this circus.
Is it all just make-believe, this? Am I actually going to be okay? Will you actually not see me die?
You're making a game of it. And you're holding his hand, singing the bloody songs, even telling him how to bloody breathe. I'm not going to. I refuse to play any part in this melodrama.
Ah, the villain! Abandoning the family! The coward fleeing the scene! The weak, compromised failure of a man I always knew you were! Oh.
You're the nurse, Marcus. I look at you, like this. Emil, lie back down. I look at you, Marcus. Look at me. Look at me. You take his pulse on his wrist. You look at his chest. You listen for a heartbeat. You have to get close. Put your ear to his chest. Oh no, you have a stethoscope, of course. You listen. You take his pulse on his neck. You check his eyes. You hold a small mirror to his nose and mouth to see if it clouds up. You pinch him. Nothing. You look at me. You look at me. And you say, I'm sorry, Miriam, but Emil has passed away. So say it.
I'm sorry, Miriam, but Emil has passed away.
And I say, yes. And then, are you sure? And you say,
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm noting the time of death as 4:12 a.m. Would you like to be alone with him? I'll need to inform the doctor.
in a moment. But right now, I'd like you to be here with me too. You played the nurse very well. I remember doing it with Papa, with Gramps. Just like that, very quiet, very methodical.
Emil, stop trying to fix us.
I won't get to hear any of this.
You won't need to. I mean, you're fit. You're young. You won't need to. We'll find something. We will. We'll work. Our work. Look out on the street. You wouldn't believe that mess they've made. There's chunks of pavement. There's piles of clay and old road. There's piping. It's giant. You look into the gullies they've dug. It's amazing. There's coils and coils of cable. I don't even know what it all does, but it all disappears underground, doesn't it? And then they put the pavement back. Yes, there's a few cracks. It's a different color. But then it's better again, isn't it? The place works again. It's safer or something, isn't it? Isn't it? Come and tell him, Miri.
Look at us. Miriam, Marcus, and Emil. This is us. How we are in Emil's 25th year. We turn on each other, we plead for the impossible, we make it up as we go along. We eat all of the sandwiches I make. I only ever make cheese. I only ever make them on sliced seeded bread cut in triangles. Marcus makes squares. Emile never makes sandwiches. What now?
There's a lot of work to do. Anything more to say? Anything?
When do we stop this?
When you tell me to.
Stop.
Keep going.
Okay. Keep going.
No, stop. No. I don't.
Please.
I'm still recording.
Okay, so powerful stuff. Patrick, what's going on here in this everyday household scene?
Well, I was really trying to ask how we as a society, and in this case, this family, do death and do family both at the same time. If we think of this family with all its tensions, all its history, all its weaknesses, how does it continue to evolve as they respond to the news that Emil is in the final 12 months of his life? So we have the three characters. We have Marcus, who is in deep denial about what's going on. We have Miriam, who is in deep grief. And we have Emil trying to create some kind of true or warts and all memorial of his relationships. And in doing so, he opens up the cracks within those relationships. So I think it's also important to say, of course, that there's no such thing as an everyday family. It's a very loaded word, family. And of course, there are many ways in which families can be constituted. But we all exist with the ghosts of those who have come before us and of those who go before us. And I'm also interested to think and to imagine, what will this family be after Emil is dead? Miriam says that this family is dying. Is that true? And I'm really interested, of course, as we talked about in the introduction, into how people are going to be responding to this and what it makes people reflect upon and think about.
So it's so interesting to me because we collaborated, didn't we, in a series of conversations, trying to think about how the things that I research in relation to the 18th century might still be playing out today. And one of the things that I've been looking at is the idea of a kind of a good deathbed scene, you know, a death which will be kind of appropriate to the life of the person, but also fears and anxieties about how you might be remembered. And I guess in one, there's the idea of idealizing a good death and the person who's dying. And this play, it seems to me so powerful because he wants to push against that. He doesn't want to be made into something that he wasn't, but there's something destructive perhaps in the attempt to resist that.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting observation about the destructive nature and the law of unintended consequences, really. And it was interesting how I felt that Emil kind of, we didn't see his fear until the very end, I felt. And that's quite interesting to me to have seen that. And just picking up on what you were saying, your writing that I've read, particularly on Samuel Johnson, has been very influential about what I've written for in both this piece and in the previous pieces. Because from what I read of your work, it's this sense of how he wrote so deeply and honestly about his terror of death, while at the same time trying to chisel out language and metaphors and anecdotes that could somehow encompass its mystery. And I think there's the link between what I was trying to do with this play and what Samuel Johnson was trying to do 200-300 years ago is very much there in me, and that's come as a big surprise, actually. You know, I didn't know your work before we started conversing. We came across each other at a project or at a meeting between Cambridge academics and people within the Cambridge creative world, and you were talking about your work with the Good Death Project, and that was what particularly inspired me to want to start conversing with you. And it really surprised me as how your writing, particularly on Johnson, has become, you know, really quite key to what I've written in response.
And it's been very surprising to me too to have a different perspective on what I've been thinking about in quite kind of esoteric or abstract terms. And what really came through for me watching that play was one of the things that I talk about in relation to Johnson is his use of tenses. So he uses the idea of kind of living and at the same time of dying, of being in the middle of a process that will end, but that he doesn't quite know when. And the 12-month time frame of this play and the kind of insistence that he's still living even though he's dying had an emotional resonance that I'm going to feed back into my thinking about how the literary works that I've been looking at might be operating. But our collaboration has been through some twists and turns, hasn't it, over the last year or so because of COVID.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, we were going to originally do a live piece of theatre at the Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology in response to an exhibition that they were running called Near Death, which strangely, my idea for that was to stage a deathbed scene, or a scene set around a deathbed. And so it somehow found its way. That idea has found its way somehow, at least, into this work. And also what has been an evolution of our conversation is the fact that you've introduced me to other researchers' work, and particularly the work of sociologist Julie Ellis from Huddersfield University and her colleagues Erica Borgstrom and Kate Woodthorpe. They wrote a paper about family practices at the end of life, and that paper, reading that paper for me was key to the setting of this play and clearly influenced its title. And they write about death being a relational experience rather than something that just an individual experiences, which in some ways seems quite obvious, but of course it's the way that they dig into that in their ethnographic studies, which influenced the way I thought of Emile doing his own really bad ethnographic study of his relationships. And of course, I'm just aiming to get underneath the ideas that they were talking about and imagine how those ideas might play out within this imperfect family setting.
It's been great to make contacts of that kind. So I first came across Julie at a conference that we ran at Crash, bringing together academics and healthcare professionals with also in one point a public event. And so we've been trying to start interdisciplinary conversations, but working with you has kind of given us the means to sort of produce something that then can be shared more widely than just those people that we personally can meet and talk with.
You mentioned in your introduction about the workshops that you do with hospices and bereavement groups. We've done a couple of workshops together about that, but I think it's really important that people know about how you take your research and some of my work that's come from our collaboration into workshops with people involved with end-of-life care, nurses, counsellors, people who are dying, families. Could you just say something about that?
Right, so the basis of the project is that through literature, we're able to open up our minds to kind of alternative imaginary universes, to feel other people's emotions and to gain an insight into different perspectives, and that can help us to really check in with what we think ourselves, our beliefs, our attitudes, and our feelings. So with that in mind, we run workshops involving creative writing sometimes, poetry, reading and writing with the various groups that you've mentioned. No specialist knowledge is required. It's not like being in a classroom, but we reflect together on a selection of texts and use those to sort of prompt reflections from the participants. And we've been really always surprised at how open people are, and often the participants say, I didn't know that I was going to say that, or I didn't know that I felt that, but something in this poem has really resonated with me. So the next stage will be to add to those workshops, as we've begun to do, by using performances such as this one and the 3 audio dramas that we recorded during the first lockdown as another method to help those who are right at the coalface, as it were, really experiencing death, dying and bereavement at the present moment.
And is there any way that these interactions you have at the coalface, as you call it, is there any way that can feed back into your own research at all?
So one of the things that's interesting is that certain kinds of patterns emerge. People's experiences are obviously absolutely unique, but at the same time we start to see similar ways in which people perhaps think about their childhood, if they're from if they're in a comparable age group, and so forth. So the question that's now in my mind in my research is how much of what I'm noticing in particular text is distinctive to that particular writer. How much of it is about cultural constructions and influences that shape the way they were writing, and how much of it is to do with being human. And I think the latter part is now becoming much more obvious to me, that really much of the time I might not be saying something about being an 18th century male writer, but in fact just a person. Right.
Which seems to be the big kind of takeaway from these workshops is that you get a real glimpse into some people's basic fundamental humanity and their experience of being human, and that's where the connection is with the literature or the poetry or the play text being this kind of intermediary between yourself and the people in the workshops.
Exactly, an intermediary and something slightly out of the ordinary, if you see what I mean. So a slightly challenging moment in a play, or a concept that's a little bit difficult to understand, or a simile or a metaphor that is ambiguous or means more than one thing at one time. All of those things I think can generate slightly different conversations than you'd get if you simply ask people, what would you like your funeral to be like, or have you experienced bereavement? So that's why we're so committed to the literary and to the dramatic arts in this arena.
So we want people's responses to this conversation and to this play, don't we? Let's remind people how they can do that, and can you just stress what we'd like to hear from people as well, some examples.
Absolutely. So we're interested to hear your feedback about the play itself, you know, what you thought about it, what you liked or didn't like, what resonated with you. But we'd also really like to hear your own experiences, either in the context of death, dying and bereavement, or how it is that you've used literature, drama, the arts in your own life story. If you're willing to share, we would love to hear from you. Similarly, if you're a professional or a volunteer who works in death-related fields, so end-of-life care, bereavement counselling, and so forth, we'd love to hear whether you think this is a kind of resource that could be useful within the setting that you work within, and what you think it might add to the kind of array of resources that you already have at your disposal. We really want to do something positive and with clear benefits. But as Patrick says, this is a kind of collaboration that's ongoing, and this is a work in progress. So if there are things that we can do differently or better, we'd love to hear that, essentially. As I said at the beginning, and you'll be shown it on the screen in a moment, you can see us on Twitter at @what_death, #everydaydeath. And you can also contact us via our website, which is gooddeath@english.cam.ac.uk. Please do get in touch.